Have you ever noticed how some of the most complicated problems, well, they're not really solved by outside experts coming in with a binder full of answers? Yeah, a lot of the time, the real solutions come from listening to the people who are right there on the ground. Today, we're going to dive into a research method that does exactly that. It's called Participatory Action Research, and it is all about the power of collaboration.
So at its very core, participatory action research, we'll call it PAR, is a partnership. It's all about breaking down that traditional wall between the researcher and the subject. Instead of studying a group from the outside, the researcher actually works with the group to figure out the problems and, more importantly, to create solutions together that actually make sense in their world.
So here's what we've got on tap for this explainer. We're going to break down what PAR really is, walk through the key steps, look at a really fascinating case study from aviation safety, and then we'll wrap it all up with the biggest lesson of all, the incredible power of just listening.
All right, so let's jump right in. What is this all about? What's the core idea here? Well, it all starts by kind of rethinking what we even mean by the word truth. Scholars like Vidartak Siriwang from Thailand's renowned Silpakarn University have been really key in shaping this field. See, PAR works on this big idea that truth isn't some single objective number you can just measure. Nope, it's something that we co-create through our interactions, something that's shaped by our unique cultures and social worlds.
And you can really see the difference when you put it side by side with traditional research. On one hand, you have the old way. Its goal is to test a theory, it's usually looking for one objective truth, and it relies on numbers. The researcher, they're the expert. But PAR, it's totally different. The goal is to solve a real-world problem. It embraces the idea of multiple truths, focuses on the meaning behind things, and the researcher's role completely changes, from expert to facilitator.
So how does PAR get to that deeper meaning? It uses a tool called thick description. This is so cool. It isn't just about writing down what happened. It's about capturing the entire context, the culture, the unspoken rules, the feelings, the why behind the what. It's the difference between just saying that person winked and understanding if it was a flirt, a nervous twitch, or maybe a secret signal. It's all about the context.
Okay, so that's the philosophy. But how does it actually play out in the real world? Well, PAR follows a pretty clear cyclical process.
The PAR process is way less of a straight line and much more of a continuous loop. It all kicks off with building trust. From there, the group works together to figure out what the real issues are. Then, they design solutions as a team. And this is the crucial part. After they take action, they all reflect together on what happened, which then feeds right back into the next round. It's a living, breathing process of learning and adapting.
And this right here, this quote, just nails the most important shift in mindset. The researcher's job isn't to show up with all the answers. It's to create a space where the group can find their own answers. It's all about empowering them, recognizing that the real expertise, it was already there in the community the whole time.
All right, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But what does it actually look like when the rubber meets the road? Let's check out a really powerful case study from a field where there's absolutely no room for error: aviation.
So here's the challenge. An airline needed to improve its ground safety culture. We're talking about the cargo and ramp staff, the folks working in these super high-pressure environments where safety is literally everything. And yet, things are starting to go wrong. Now, instead of just writing a new rulebook, the researchers used PAR. They actually worked right alongside the staff. And through all that observation and those deep interviews, that thick description we were talking about, they found the real problem. The official safety procedures were actually seen as a huge pain, something that got in the way of getting the job done fast. So what happened? A whole culture of risky shortcuts had popped up to get around the rules.
And this is where the magic of PAR really shines. Because the whole team figured out the root cause together, they could create the solutions together. The staff themselves helped redesign the procedures so they were both safe and practical. They set up forums for ongoing feedback, creating this amazing system of shared ownership. And the result? A brand new safety culture, built from the ground up, one that everybody actually believed in because they helped build it themselves.
This whole case study really brings us to the ultimate lesson of participatory action research. And it's a super simple but really profound idea.
And here it is. This is the big takeaway. You can write all the manuals and procedures you want, but real lasting change, it only happens when people feel like their knowledge, their experience, and their voice truly matter. The power of PAR isn't in some fancy methodology. It's found in the simple human act of listening.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Think about your own world, your job, your community, maybe even your own family. What's a complex problem that you could start to untangle, not by having all the answers, but by just starting to truly and deeply listen?